Hello. Welcome back. So we're going to be getting going on day 50 of Blueprints. Now, if you've played the game yourself or if you've, watched other people's, playthroughs, I'm sure I'm like absolutely positive that I'm behind the curve as far as progress goes for the number of game days spent. Meaning I'm absolutely sure I'm nowhere near where I should be towards, full completion by day 50 that I should be, right? I'm well aware. But this is my progress. I'm trying to, not I'm trying to not Google things ahead of time. Like once I've solved a puzzle, if it seemed unfair to me, then I've Googled like, why was the answer this? I mean, after I got the answer and then it explains and I go, oh, okay. I see why. But I'm trying to do this completely without hints, without spoilers for myself. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're getting spoiled from me, right? But I'm doing it without. I've got a couple friends who turned me on to this game, but they don't really. They know that I don't want spoilers, so they don't give me spoilers. They just occasionally give me encouragement and minor like pieces of advice without actually spoiling anything. But point is that my only defense is I've got other things going on in my life, so I'm not doing this, full. I'm not playing Blueprints full time, and I'm not getting to spend a lot of hours outside of playing the game actually compiling all my notes like I should. Like I should be reorganizing my notes more often than I get the opportunity to, and I should be reorganizing the spreadsheet with my screenshots and organizing those and whatever. But basically, I have other things to do and whatnot. So this is my particular progress. It's not as impressive as some others. I'm well aware. We are in our last day of the Blessing of the Tinkerer, which means that whenever we draft a mechanical room, a room with this gear symbol, we'll trigger our current experiment, which again means that we'll want to start an experiment sooner rather than later during the day so that we get, more advantage of that. We had the clock tower yesterday, so we're starting with the A key. I'd say yesterday, I mean day 49. Started with 70 steps, we're now at 68, two from gems from the gemstone cavern, and our allowance is up at 45. Okay, well, no, I don't want to call it a day. We have unlocked 4 sanctum rooms. Orenda Ares, Fen Ares, Arch Ares, and Iraja. Okay, and then we've got 4 left to unlock, and then we've got to find a couple more letters, and we've got to solve more puzzles in room 46, which we at least know how to get into. Hopefully find our mom at some point. We've got puzzles that we need to solve. Puzzles from the book A New Clue. I need to find a metro map somewhere, and stuff like that. But what is our outbuilding for today? Well, I've already got a shrine going on, so I'm gonna not do the shrine today because I'm already got a blessing at the moment. I will do a schoolhouse and really, really try to complete, all 8 classrooms today. It means I will have to get gems along the way because each of these classrooms costs a gem to draft. But we'll do it. Just make sure there's nothing extra to pick up here or extra to do here. We've read that stuff before. Within a timely manner. Yep. Emphasizing upon. This little door in the furnace doesn't really open. Okay. So this is going to be a classroom day. That's going to be our deal with today. Now, the first 6 classrooms I've already done, so you won't see me spend a whole lot of time in the first 6 classrooms because I've already like screenshot all the things and figured out the lessons. But I have to get through the first 6 classrooms before I'm given the opportunity to draft classrooms 7 and 8. Alrighty. I will need gems. So let's do a parlor. The gems are in the blue box. That's true or false. The gems are in this box. That is true or false. But basically, the truth or falsehood of black and blue are the same, so white has to be the opposite truth value. The gems are in a box next to this box. So the problem is if these two are true and the gems are in the blue box, then this is also true and all 3 are true, but we know per the rules of the game, at least one has to be false. So if, however, the gems are in the blue box is false, the gems are in this box are false, right? The gems are in a box next to this box can still be true. So if this is false and this is false, this has to be true. But the gems can't be in the blue box because that would make this true, and which would make that false. So the gems basically have to be in the black box. That's my reasoning. Because it's the only way that black and blue can be false and white true. Because if white was false, then the gems would be in this box. But if white's false, then both of these, then at least one of these have to be true. But if either of these are true, then the gems are in the blue box, right? So it has to be the case the gems are in the black box. We'll do a den. We haven't seen classroom yet, but den will give us another gem. And once we start seeing classrooms, we'll be needing gems. So I'm not seeing a trunk or anything. Okay, we're gonna go up here because I can get over here from here. Yet to see a classroom. We'll do pantry because it leads over here. Still no classroom, which is okay. I'm going to do the observatory because the observatory might give me more gems as a benefit, right? Yeah, see, we're going to get diamonds major, farmer's apple, apples more delicious, Florealis, so green rooms will give us gems. because they'll have flowers, right? And then extra 3 steps. So, and then now we are going to come down here, and we're going to have to basically, like, we don't have access to this area at present. If I did the veranda, it would cost 2 gems. It would probably have a flower that would give a gem. Would not necessarily have a second flower, so it wouldn't necessarily pay me back in gems. But it has a greater chance of finding items in green rooms. But I know that I really need to do classroom. So let's get classroom number 1. Well, if I do this, I could do classroom number 1 over here potentially. But let's go ahead and get classroom number 1 out of the way. And yes, I won't be utilizing this corner. Her ladyship's chamber would not be bad because it would give me extra gems if I got the walk-in closet, and the walk-in closet would give me items anyway. But it is a dead end, and I really need to start drafting classrooms ASAP, right? There are 8 classrooms. Each is going to cost a gem. I have 9 gems right now, so if I'm economical and I don't run into issues with keys, I should have enough gems for classrooms. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm not expecting them. I have these screenshots. I know this lesson. So, right. This taught us basically which colors 3 of the flags were, is what we basically got out of this lesson. So now we're going to backtrack all the way over to here. I can go here or I could go here. I will go here because it might be a bend up, and this is not necessarily going to be a straight up. This is a bend up, so we'll do that. Classroom number 2. Make sure there's no, like, sometimes there's extra items on the desks, like reroll die or something. I don't see anything like that today. And we already have our lessons from this classroom. Okay. This would connect us to the foundation. This gives us a classroom, but it will dead end us. I still want to connect to the foundation, so I'm going to do this for now. Because I need to be able to get to the rest of this house. So if I dead ended here, I'd have one doorway that I could go through for the whole rest of the house. This gives me 3 doorways I can go through. So that was more important than a classroom at this particular moment, was having more doorways. I don't have any items. I didn't have a moon pendant this time, so I don't have any items. I don't have a shovel or anything. Let's see what this does. This gives me a bedroom which will lead up, but it's at least not a dead end. So we'll do that. No extra items here. Coat check. I don't have anything checked at the moment. Boudoir would give me a gem and lead me over here. Library leads me over here. I can get to here from the foundation. So a doorway that leads over here is potentially useful. The drawer, of course, would give me an extra gem. Because there's a gem in the safe that's already been opened. I do need access to more of the house. I need, more places I can go. So I'm going to do the library. And look, the library had a gem anyway. Okay, it's going to let me request a book. I think I've got screenshots of all of these books, or majority of them. I mean, I should request a book, but I'm not sure what book to request. Is there any book here that I haven't seen with a magnifying glass? That's the question, right? That I need to see with a magnifying glass. I will request the pump system user manual just in case there's some other thing I need to do with the pump room. Besides, I drained the reservoir already. I accomplished that long-standing goal. I finally accomplished that. But if there's something else I need to do with the, like, regarding the pumping out the aquarium or the greenhouse or something else, so I'll just do that because I don't know what other book I could possibly, need. All right, let's go over here. Okay, I could use a key, but it would be my last key, and I don't know if this requires a key. So we're gonna go. I'm short on keys, so I'm going to go back over here, see if this requires a key, and if it does, then I'll just go all the way down here and try to fill out this and get keys. Right. Does this door require a key? It does. Okay, so I could spend a key here, which is on tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could spend a key here on well, it's the same either way. They're both tier 5 rooms. I have one key. Let's try to get more keys. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll come over here and just try to fill out over here. I don't need the pantry. I need the parlor to the entrance hall. Make sure I'm not missing anything extra here. Okay. All right. Classroom is decent, but billiard gives me key. We're not doing this because I don't want a dead end. So what's more important to me, a key right now or a classroom right now? I'm going to do the billiard room and hope that I just have more opportunity for classroom. Like, hopefully, I'm going to hope that it's not like, oh, you passed on the classroom, so we're not going to, give you the option of it again, kind of thing. All right. So 9. 13 minus 10 is 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 4 is 20. Minus 5 is 15. 5 minus 1 is 4. Plus 5 is 9, plus 1, or minus 1 is 8. Or another way to look at it is this is 5 plus 5 is 10, minus 2 is 8. And there we go. Now we got a couple more keys, and I hope I haven't screwed myself out of being able to do 8 classrooms. Here's another key opportunity. Doesn't lead up here though. This gives me a key dead ends. We don't want a dead end, so we're going to do the hallway. Key more important than gem at the moment. Remember to actually pick up the key. Sometimes I forget to pick up that key because I'm an idiot. Right? Okay. East Wing Hall, because I want doorways here and here. Let me have a classroom. Come on, let me have a classroom in this corner. No classroom in that corner. Kitchen would let me potentially buy steps more than the 10 I would get from the quest bedroom. But it would also cost me a gem, but let's see. Well, we're encountering when we do classrooms, we eat apples more often than not, which is giving us some steps. And apples are extra delicious today. So I'm gonna try not to spend my money in the kitchen. So I'll do this. An extra key. It's good. But I really wanted a classroom. Is it going to stop giving me the option of classrooms now? All right, there we go. Here's a classroom. I could have a reading nook for a key, but I need to stop. I need to not pass on classrooms now. Okay. Here's the apple that it very often gives us in the classroom. And we've got salt shaker, and we've got a salt shaker. Plus we've got the observatory made apples more delicious. So apples are really worth a good number of steps today. We figured out this puzzle, right, with the periodic table. So let's go over here. Okay. Courtyard will have, will cost a gem to go in, but with Florealis, it should have 2 gem flowers, and it might have a trunk, which could potentially be open. But I do have 5 redraws, so I could try to redraw into another classroom. So let's try to redraw into another classroom. Come on, give me a classroom. There we go. Yep, we've got these screenshots and stuff. You've got screenshots of all of the geography maps and stuff. Let's eat this extra delicious apple. 6 steps for an apple today. That is awesome. Yeah, I don't need a kitchen. I don't even need a sleeping mask as long as I keep doing classrooms. I'm not seeing anything extra on the desks, no like reroll die or anything. Okay. But now we've got to wind back around to here, and we've got the steps to do so, so that's fine. Yeah, we've got to wind back around, but now we've got keys and everything, so we're doing okay at the moment. And I say that just to jinx myself, right? Yep. I have to go down to the billiard room, to the entrance hall. And then from here... Oh, I forgot to make a wish. I'll do that if I have extra steps or whatever. It's not the big deal in the world. I don't want to spend extra steps right now to put 1 coin in the fountain, but I should have made a wish when I had the opportunity. When I was going to the outbuilding, I should make a wish on my way just about every time I should. Because usually 1 coin isn't what's breaking us when we can't buy something. We're not usually 1 coin short. So the accumulation of a coin every day means that on some future day I can drain the fountain and collect all those coins for a purchase I am short on, for like if I'm short 10 coins or 11 coins, but I've been doing wishes, for the past 10, 11 days, then that can make a difference, right? Is the thinking there. All right, so from here, we go over here. Okay, we have done 4 classrooms. So I need to do 4 more classrooms. So we'll just go this doorway first. Okay, it's not a classroom. This takes us up. This will cost us a coin, but takes us over. It might be more important to go over than it is to go up right now. So we're going to do this. And I'm fine that it takes a coin from me. I mean, it'd be better if it didn't, but I've got enough coin that I'm fine with that at the moment. All right. I need 4 more classrooms, which means I need 4 more gems. I need 4 gems for those classrooms. Now, a classroom is blue, so secret passage won't lead me to a classroom because it won't let me choose blue. I'm pretty sure it doesn't let me choose blue. Yeah, I can't bring up my thing, but I'm pretty sure secret passage does not let me choose blue as a color, right? So we're going to do the passageway. And yes, I'm spending 2 gems on it. Can't be helped. We're going to do this one down first. Okay, classroom. It dead ends me, but it is a classroom. So we're going to do it. Yes, we saw all of these pictures. We're going to eat our apple. Some extra coins on this desk here. Would prefer reroll die or key or something, but take what we can get. All right, so back to here. I want to go over before I go up. We will use a key. We don't have a choice. This would give us 3 keys, but it dead ends us, so we're going to do this. Again, I want a classroom. We need 3 more classrooms, and we have 3 gems, so. We have 3 keys. Okay, so we're going to take the classroom. Eat the apple. Now, I don't see anything extra on the desks here. History is penned by the victors. Yeah. The Fen. I don't think there's anything. This is classroom number 6. This is as far as we've gotten previously. So I need to do 2 more classrooms today. Okay, before I spend that key, we're going to come over here. I know this requires a key. I don't know that this does. So we're going to try this doorway first. Because stepwise, or I have plenty of steps at the moment. This gives us another key and gives me a doorway over here. This would give me a key and a gem, which is great. But it dead ends me. Dead ends me. We're going to do this because it does not dead end me. It gives me a key and does not dead end me. I was considering the storeroom because of the extra gem, but all right. So here's the issue. We're going to be dead-ended regardless of what we do. I don't have a reroll, so regardless of what I pick, this is a dead end. So we're going to pick the mail room so that we get a package on a future day. But also, we should have letters delivered here because of our prior experiment. Now, I've yet to start an experiment today. I haven't really had the opportunity to start an experiment today. But we should have letters we haven't seen. Let's try to go in order. So okay, read that one. Okay, here's a new one. Simon, following up on the map I created outlining the steam power duct system, I thought it would be helpful to provide you with a corresponding map for gas power, which is an outdated system that currently is only utilized outside the house in locations on the ground. So we've got the hovel, the apple orchard, the schoolhouse, the gemstone cavern. We have encountered this, we've solved this, but I'm going to take the screenshot anyway. Add it to our screenshots. And then this one. Oh, wait a minute. Here, let me make sure there was no second page on this one. Okay. And yeah, okay. So then this one. Okay. Simon, just in case it wasn't explicit in the emails, I decided to contact DC Power directly and get some additional usage instructions for the VAC system they installed. This information is actually as much for me as it is for you, as I often spend 10 minutes in the utility closet just pressing random buttons until coming up with the desired result, but I rarely understand exactly how it is I get there. After half an hour on hold, I finally got to speak to the technician who personally designed the system. Compiled a list of helpful operating instructions. I'll add that material on a separate sheet I'll include with this letter. As always, hope this helps you, Randolph. Again, this is a puzzle we've already solved, but at some point in time, we're going to end up with a letter to a puzzle we haven't yet solved, right? So, yeah. This is telling us stuff that I've already worked out. If 5 out of the 6 indicator lights are all the same color, pressing the 6 indicator will always sync it up to the other 5. If all 6 lights are green, pressing any of them will result in the appearance of a blue indicator. If all 6 lights are purple, pressing any of them will result in the appearance of a white indicator. Pressing a blue indicator will turn it off and flip both of its neighbors to blue unless one of those neighbors is red. Okay. And then we've got this. Greetings, Simon. Hope all is going well on the estate. I was discussing my communications with you with another fellow technician, Kimberly Thompson, and she suggested I disclose to you the locations of the drafting strategy issues she's personally found on the estate. Issue 1 is in the dormitory. Issue 2 is in the drafting studio. Issue 3 is in the library. Or it can be, yeah, from the library. 4 is from the bookshop. Issue 5 from the bookshop. Above lift is according to her, so I can't personally. Okay. So we have. I don't think we've read issue 1 from the dormitory. All the others, I believe, that we have read. Now, if issue 1 is got less helpful information than issues 2, 3, 4, and 5, then I don't necessarily need to go out of my way for issue 1. But regardless, we request now when I request more letters be delivered to the mailroom, hopefully it will get past the puzzles that I've already solved and start giving me hints towards puzzles I have yet to solve. But right now we need to backtrack, and we have this doorway and this doorway both requiring keys, and I've got 3 keys. All right, so this one's a tighter corner, so we're going to do this one first. Actually, let me rethink that. If I do this one first and it like is a classroom that dead ends over here or over here, you know, if it's a classroom, it won't go straight through. It'll dead end. I need to know if I can dead end. And the only way I can know if I can dead end is based upon what happens here. So I need to go this doorway first. Okay. So we're going to reverse that. I'm burning steps, but that's fine. I've got extra steps at the moment. I still shouldn't be wasting them, but it is what it is. Okay. So this would dead end us. This would dead end us. I don't have a reroll. This would give me keys, and it gives me another opportunity right here. But it does cost both my gems. So that's an issue. I can't be relied upon this one doorway, though. But this doorway is only a doorway to here. And, oh, here's the problem. Let's say I did this room, and I come to this doorway. Well, I no longer have a gem. If it's a classroom, I won't be able to draft it. So I'm kind of screwed. I'm kind of screwed. Okay, well, I can't do... Well... If I do the music room, I'm going to have to find 2 more gems. I'm going to have to find more gems somewhere. And I don't have a lot of, wares left, right? If I do this, I will need to find 1 more gem somewhere, but I'll have more keys. If I do this, I'll be fine on gems, but I won't necessarily be fine on keys. So I'll be back. I got to think about that for a second. Okay, for better or worse, this might be the wrong choice, but I'm going to do the music room. Reason being is that it will give me a regular key for sure, but it should also give me a special key, like a major key. And let's see what that major key is. It's a prism key. That's not what I wanted. I wanted a silver key or a secret garden key. I didn't get either of those. And I don't think there's not an extra gem just lying around here. Okay. The reason why I wanted a silver key is if I was here and this is a locked door, right? So if I was here and I used a silver key, that'd be more likely to give me a room that had a doorway up here, which is what I need because I need to expand out to this area because I need 2 more classrooms. Right now, I have no gems. So if this, even if this gives me the option of a classroom here, I can't place it because I need to pick up more gems before I can't do a classroom here or here because I don't have gems. So I was really hoping this would be like a silver key so I could go up here, or a secret garden key would let me do the same thing because it would also let me go up here, but a secret garden key would be even better because that should have 2 flowers that would give me 2 gems. But it gave me a prism key instead, which is kind of useless to me because I'm trying to do blue rooms, and it isn't going to let me go from blue room to blue room. That's not how the prism key works. That, you know, it's a lot of talking, but this is letting me do, you know, special colored rooms, not blue rooms. So prism key was the worst of the special keys it could have given me. Because I have to be in a color, it's going to duplicate the color room I'm already in if it's a special color room. Now, from here, does that mean it will give me option of a hallway? It does, okay. It does give me an option of a hallway. So from here, I will use the prism key for a hallway. Okay. Now from this door, I don't want to do this door yet because this might give me the option of a classroom, but I don't have a gem. So I'm going to come back over here. I have all these extra steps. I'm going to come back over here, do this hallway, see where this goes, try to get more gems, then come back here and see if I can do a classroom. This is complicated, but I just need to do 2 more classrooms, but I have very few opportunities left to do it. It's hard. I've seen like the fact that there exists speedrun videos of this game, like, oh, someone did, you know, blueprints in 11 minutes. Maybe they just made it to room 46, you know, new game, 11 minutes. Even that's impossible for me. I don't know how anybody speedruns this game. It's just so random. Like, you don't know what choices it's going to give you. You don't know what resources you're going to need. You don't know where you can go to guarantee getting the more resources that you do need. You know, like, I don't know how to guarantee getting a gem at this point. I have to hope, right? So I'm going to use a special key. I'm going to use the prism key because I want a hallway. Okay. Requires a gem, doesn't require a gem. Well, I would have preferred to do this one because I would have had flowers that would give me gems, but I didn't have a gem to do it. Right? So we're doing the foyer, and that leads me up here, but then, and I don't think it doesn't have any extra gem or anything for me. Okay, we're going to... Oh, I can't do the drafting studio because I don't have 2 gems. Fuck. Well, I am not going to complete the classroom today. That's what I know. Yeah, I can't complete the classroom today. Because if I did this, it would dead end me. I can't do this one. If I did this one, it would dead end me. Which means this is the only remaining room I can draft, which at most could be, even if this had a gem, and very, very possibly does, that would let me maybe draft 1 classroom here, which would be classroom number 7. But it wouldn't let me get to classroom number 8. So I have to do this. But this means I don't know what I'm going to be drafting. So I'm going to draft over here, use a key, not know what I am drafting. No, I cannot afford either of those. This could be a classroom that I can't afford. Go here. This is the storeroom, which will give me a gem and a key, but it is also a dead end. And it has a dig spot. Okay. So then, with a gem and a key, now that I have a gem, before I do this, I'm going to come down here because this I can see and I have a gem. So if it's a special room that only costs 1 gem, I can do it. So I'm using all my steps over and over again, just to keep going back and forth. All right. I'm gonna fail today. Okay. Yep, look at that. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the utility closet, because then I can turn on the power to the dark room. So then I can see what I am drafting from the dark room. So I'm going to turn off the gymnasium. We're going to turn on the dark room. We're going to turn on the garage. We'll turn off the key card system. So we've done all of those things. Yeah. So now this is my one open doorway, but at least I will see my drafting options and I have a gem. Power is on here. It'd be great if this had something extra that we could pick up, an extra key, an extra gem. Has a battery pack. Not what I needed at the moment, to be honest. Would have preferred a gem. Straight up would have preferred a gem. Gem would have been my number one ask. But, okay. Or a reroll die, right? Okay, we're going to do the drawing room. It costs a gem, but we've opened the safe in the drawing room so we can get that gem back, and then it gives me 2 doorways. So first, we're going to pick up a replacement gem. Okay. Make sure it's not going to give me another key or gem. No, it won't be that kind. But it does give me also redraw, right? So we're going to go up here first and test this redraw. No, I'm up. I want to go to the top first. I have this allowance quest, but I'm not really interested in that. I need to do these classrooms. The schoolhouse isn't always a outbuilding option. So today I've got to be focused. So key. Okay. Boudoir would give me another doorway. It would give me another gem and another doorway. Lab would let me start the experiment, but it's kind of too late for that today. So this, I would, if boudoir, I'd end up with 2 gems. I do need 2 gems because I need a gem for each classroom. But I'm not guaranteed to be able to draft a classroom off the boudoir, right? And I wouldn't have a reroll. If I take the classroom now, then from the other room, I need to do something that would give me a gem. There's not that many things that would give me a gem. I'm going to have to chance the boudoir. If I'd done her ladyship's chamber, I would be giving me extra gems, but I didn't, right? So the reason why I get a gem from here is because I've opened this safe already. So now I have 2 gems, 2 keys. I want this to be a classroom. It was not a classroom. Gymnasium, lose 2 steps, but it doesn't take a gem. But it leads down to here, which is... I really wanted that to be a classroom. Shit. And that's an access card door. But that's fine. I don't need to go through that door. So now all my hopes are on here. And if this is a classroom, I either have to settle for classroom number 7 today, and I don't get classroom number 8, or I have to pick a room that goes through to this side and just hope to get classroom options over here, right? My last key. Okay, I'm going to do pull because if I redraw, I'm not guaranteed to get something that will go over here. Pool will go over here. And there are trunks in the pool which might have gems or keys. So... oh, but I can't open them. Fuck, I forgot. The trunks, I don't have a sledgehammer. That was stupid. That was stupid. And it's locked. And I used my last key. Alrighty. I'm stupid. I didn't get any additional classroom today. Today, that was stupid. I should have redrawn. I should have remembered that I don't have a sledgehammer. So it doesn't matter that these have trunks. I can't open them. Because I don't have keys and I don't have sledgehammer. I don't have a way to get keys or sledgehammer. I have 67 coin. I don't have any shop to spend the coin on. I can't get past this doorway. Nope, I'm done. Today was a waste. Today was an absolute waste of time. Didn't trigger the experiment at all. I didn't accomplish anything. Today was an absolute waste of time. Day 50 was an absolute waste of my time. It was a waste of your time. I apologize. I drafted 6 classrooms. I drafted 6 classrooms previously. I didn't learn anything new from those 6 classrooms. I passed on the opportunity to draft classroom number 7 here, because I got greedy and was hoping that I would be able to draft classroom number 7 here and classroom number 8 here once I had the second gem from the boudoir. I wanted to do 7 and 8. I was like, if it would just give me 7 here and it gave me a redraw here. Now, when I had the redraw here, I chose the pool, which cost me the only gem I had, and I used my last key And I could have redrawn that, but I forgot that I can't get in those trunks. I was like, I can get in, if I get in the trunks, it'll give me more gems, give me more keys. I'll come back through this way. I should have redrawn and maybe got in a hallway that would have led straight through. Who knows what would have happened, right? What I do know is I'm an abject failure. I suck, and this was an abject failure day. This sucked. Oh well. This was day 50. I mean, I've got 34 steps and 67 coin and a gem, and absolutely nothing to do. Have nothing I can do with any of that. So I don't have a planetarium, so I don't need to end the room anywhere. I don't have a coat check, so I don't need to go check an item or anything. I've already gathered the letters from the mailroom. I will just make sure that I don't have a metal detector, but I'm going to do a glance, make sure there's not another key. Another gem won't help me at the moment, but I would need a key. I did pick up the key from here, so there's not going to be another one in here. There's these dig spots. There's multiple dig spots I have access to, right? But I don't have a shovel. I don't have a way to get a shovel. Observatory gave me Florealis today. I did not draft a single green room. I passed on Courtyard when it was an auction. There's nothing I can do. Yeah. There's absolutely nothing oh, you know what I can do? I'll spend my remaining steps going outside and putting a coin, making a wish. I'll put a coin in the fountain. That's the one thing I can do. You can tune out at this point. This is just watching me retrace my steps to go back outside, which is, you know, not thrilling. And putting a coin in the wishing well is of very little benefit, but it is literally the only thing I can think of left that I could do. I could go outside from the foundation, but I might as well just do it from here. No, I'll go down just so I can look around and say, hey, look, there's not an extra key or gem down here. There like never is, but I'm talking about down here, like, oh look, there's no extra key or gem. I didn't miss it that, right? No extra key, no extra gem. Key is what I would really need, but nope, doesn't exist. I have nothing to do there. So, yes. We'll go outside from here, and then we'll go to the well and make a wish. This is so disappointing. Such a waste. Waste. Make a wish. There we go. That's how I got to. That's what I got to do. I made a wish today. That's the only thing I accomplished. Well, no, I read some letters. I read some letters from the mailroom and I made a wish. That's what I got to accomplish. if you want to call that an accomplishment, which I do not. Yeah. So frustrating. I mean, this isn't the first time I've had a completely useless, unproductive, frustrating, stymied day, but I honestly, I mean, other than being pre, you know, precognizant, right? Other than like, being able to foretell the future, I don't know how I could have made better decisions today. I knew I needed to draft classrooms as often as possible, but I knew I also needed to keep doorways open to go up to the rest of the house so I didn't run out of room. I tried to balance those two concerns. I knew I needed keys. I knew I needed gems. And the game just decided that today it wasn't going to give me, and if it was, I could have gems, I could have keys, I could not necessarily have them at the same time, or if I did, then it wasn't going to give me a choice of the rooms that I needed to progress further, right? It would give me a choice of a classroom when I wasn't ready to, for it. But when I was ready for the classroom, it wouldn't give me the choice for the classroom. Oh, so frustrating. All right, I'm going to end the day. This was day 50. It was a frustrating day, but thank you for being with me on it. Hopefully day 51 will be a more productive day. Mount Holly, stately campus, 6 classrooms, library, total rooms 34, rank reached 9, steps taken 113, items found 3. Schoolhouse doesn't always come up as an outer room choice. So I don't know when we're going to be able to make this attempt again, but we will at some point. I have to complete all 8 classrooms at some point for the clue information in classroom 7 and 8, and also for the final test, which will then give me another trophy. But it didn't happen today. All right, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.